So for the Gundpaak, we're going to be using 1.5 pounds of butter. We might need 2 pounds, but we're starting off with 1.5 pounds, and I have that on the stove right now and it's melting. So we put the wheat flour in here and we used 6 cups of wheat flour, and we ended up using the whole other half of the butter. So we've got 1 3/4 pound of butter, and we've got 6 cups of wheat flour, and all these measurements should be under the description part. So if you are watching this on YouTube, you can go to the description and you will see that the recipe is under there, and you can even half the recipe if you want to do it less. We're just making a whole lot because we have lots of friends that want to eat it. Alright, so as this is frying, Mom's gonna go ahead and add the 1/2 cup of semolina, which is suji, inside our mixture. And this is, my mom makes this like she's known to make her Gundpaak. Like everybody asks whenever there's a baby gonna be delivered, they come to her and ask her to make the Gundpaak, and that she adds some more spices in there that I'll have her talk about, because I really don't know. It's called kanklu, but she'll talk about it. I don't know what really goes in there, so I'll have Mom talk about that. So I'm just stirring this really well, and we're just gonna cook this on the stove. So we've got the wheat flour and the suji inside, and then then we're gonna go ahead and put 1/2 cup of chickpea flour, or chana nulot, which is chickpea flour, and we're gonna stir that up really, really well. So Mom, can you tell them something about the kanklu that we use?
I think kanklu has so many medications inside, so many like herbal things inside, which really helps the back. So
can a normal person have kanklu?
Yeah, it's really good to eat in winter.
So in winters, right?
Yeah.
So, but too much of it can also not be very good, right?
Yeah, but
because it puts too much heat in the body?
Yeah.
All right. So basically the kanklu, I don't know, are we using kanklu today, Mom?
Yeah.
So we will be adding kanklu in this.
Because it's not for the...
Just a little bit, because we just want the little bit taste of the kanklu in here. But that is completely optional. If you don't have it, don't know where to get a hold of it, you really don't need to put it in there. We're just doing that just because my mom loves the taste of kanklu, and so do I. So just a little bit, so then even I can have it, and it does, and I'm not having a baby, so I can have a little bit of it. So so basically, Mom, we're gonna fry this up, and then what's the next step?
Until golden brown, until you smell that
nice aroma.
Okay. And it will look a little bit brownish in color.
Okay, so then we'll keep you guys updated. So I've got a separate saucepan going over here, and that one has the quarter cup of the butter that was left. I put that in there, and then to that we're gonna add 3 cups of gore, which is jaggery. And Mom, can you put this in so I can hold the camera? So Mom's gonna put that in, and just wanted to tell you, I want to show you what the jaggery exactly looks like, so if you went to the Indian store and you don't know. And we're gonna have this melt separately. So I'm just gonna talk about a little bit about the jaggery here. If you go to the Indian store, this is what it looks like. We used the whole 1 pound of jaggery, and what we did with this was we put it into the microwave, and just and it is gonna be rock hard. So you want to put it in the microwave, put it on the defrost mode for about a minute. It's gonna soften up a little bit, and then we crushed it completely, and that comes out to 3 cups. So we added that to the butter here, and we're gonna let this melt. And we've got our the mixture here with the wheat flour and the chana and the chickpea flour stuff still roasting up just a little bit. And then once that gets done, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna show you the next step. So now we're putting the gund inside.
3.5.
So it's 3.5 cups. And Mom, what is it called in English?
Edible gum.
So now this is not the Obani stuff, okay? So don't mistake that. This is gund. And I will show you a package of it so you know what to look for if you go to the Indian store.
And I like to put it right now, so that some of them which is not popped, which is not cooked, will cook inside.
So now, Mom, the ones that we put in the microwave. We just put it on a plate, put it in a microwave, and then we popped it for about a minute. We put it in there for about a minute. And we did that about 3-4 times until we had about 3.5 cups popped. Gund. So our the gore and the butter is still on the stove, which is the jaggery, and the butter is still on the stove, and we're still gonna cook it till it gets a little bit more darker, right, Mom?
Yeah, if you want to.
Okay.
It depends. Preference.
Okay, so now, Mom, what is the difference between putting the light jaggery in and putting the darker jaggery in? What, in your experience?
I think darker ones, maybe they are cooked more, so it tastes more better than the light one.
So you recommend making it more browner, more a little bit more darker, and we're gonna show you the color once we get to the darker color. And we're just, again, this is still on very low heat, and we're cooking it. We haven't turned it off. It's just cooking, and basically the one that has not popped will
Pop inside.
pop inside. But you don't want to put just the raw one in there, right, Mom? You just want to make sure that you.
If it is really fine, then you can start putting a little bit and just stirring all the time, and put inside and stir all the time, so that until you know it's popped inside.
But this is like a safe method,
Yeah,
that it's gonna all pop, and it's.
Yeah, because sometimes you don't get the very fine ones,
Okay.
and it's better not to grind the the edible gum in the
Food
food
processor.
processor, because after when you wash the food processor, it sticks, so it spoils the.
And that's how my mom's experience is, because one of her nice food processors actually stopped working because she had used it for that. So you don't want to,
Yeah. So then
you want to try and get the smallest, tiniest pieces from the Indian store.
Or you can pop it and then you can put it in the food processor.
Okay. All right. So here, Mom, she's making a mixture of, she just put in about half a teaspoon of saffron there. And then we did about two teaspoons of cardamom powder, two or three. And that also depends on how much cardamom you like in there. So if you like more, add more. If you don't like as much, then you would add less. And then we put in about half a cup of coconut powder, which is, desiccated coconut powder, which is basically this here.
It's optional too.
And it's very, very optional, but Mom says the taste comes out really, really good. So here we've got, our jaggery still cooking up, and if you can see, the color has changed. And here is the kantlu, which is very, very optional, that Mom's using right now, and she's going to put it in this mixture here.
I just put 2 teaspoons.
Okay, so she put in about 2 tablespoons of that. No, they were heaped, so about 2 tablespoons. But again, that's completely optional and very hard to get a hold of. So very, very optional. Don't need to. Okay. So here, Mom, how can they tell that this mixture is done?
Yeah, you can tell by the aroma, and you'll see
It's just fluffing up.
yeah.
Mom, look at the mixture over there. What are you looking for? Okay. And she's just gonna go get the almonds. And we just took the whole almonds, and what we did was we just crushed it into the food processor. So she's gonna measure how much we're gonna put in. That's 2 cups. And that's optional. You want to add more, go ahead and add more. That's 3 cups right there. And you want to keep on stirring that so you don't burn that. And so she's going to go ahead and just mix everything together. It really smells really, really good. That cantaloupe smells so good. And I'm sorry that we did this video this way, but this was the only way possible because I've never attempted to make this, and Mom's a pro at it. And she's here today, and we're doing a couple other things, recordings. But Mom's a pro, and she never measures, so we've been trying very hard to stick with the measurements here. Okay, and then Mom, the jaggery, you just have to make sure and see that it just needs to get a caramel color. Yep, and we're just gonna add that to the mixture right now. And I've got my stuff all over the place, so if you guys see things everywhere, it's just because we're doing so many different things here. And we have turned the stove off at this point. So this is Razia's Gundpaak. Seriously, people are, how do you say it, Mom? People are obsessed about this Gundpaak? People are really obsessed about this Gundpaak. I mean, I never liked it before until I had my second daughter and she had made it for me with caramel. That's how she got me to eat it. But, so instead of using jaggery, she had used caramel. And so, let me stir it, Mom. Okay, so I'm just going to turn this video off for just a second. I'm just going to help her stir this real quick, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to set this in the tray. And you want to start setting this right away, right, Mom? Because then you're not going to get the pieces out otherwise. Okay, and then what you want to do is just want to take the back of your spoon and you're just going to straighten it out just like that. You know, it's really easy once you get it down. I mean, I think even if I were to attempt to make it on my own, I think I'm pretty confident that I'd be able to get it done. And the nice thing about me doing the videos is that you get hands-on to see the, consistency and in the recipe, it's really hard. That's why when I had the recipes, I just never really tried to make it, because when you look at the recipe, I'm just really overwhelmed. So, but with Mom being here, I'm really thankful that she's here so that she can show all of you how this, we can get this done. And not only, I mean, the taste of her Gundpaak just turns out amazing. And I think she's made it so many times that she can actually make this with her eyes closed. That's how many times she's made this. So just want to make sure that they're kind of evenly spread out. And then what we're going to do is you can top it off with extra almonds if you want. You can use pistachios if you want. And the other thing that you can use is poppy seeds right here. So we're gonna use the white poppy seeds and we're just gonna spread them all over. And then I'm just gonna take my spoon and I'm gonna dab it in there, so when it dries, the poppy seeds are actually going inside of, and they're not gonna run, or you're not gonna lose the poppy seeds, okay? So you don't wanna use your hands, because that's what I did, it didn't work. Okay, so she's just patting it down. You just want to pat it down so the poppy seeds really go inside. While she does the other one, I'm quickly going to run and get you the gun. I want to show you what the edible gum looks like. And this is what it is. If you go to an Indian store, they're about $1.99. And I loved this that my mom got because hers was, you see, they're so tiny. Mine were just a little bit bigger pieces. And so you kind of want to find those really, really tiny pieces. And Swad makes it. I don't know if anybody else does. I really don't know. But this is the best thing you can get at the Indian store. And you would have to get it at an Indian store. You're not going to find it at any other store. So we're just, and Mom just loves almonds, so we're gonna go ahead and top it off with more extra almonds on top. And again, you know, just make sure you guys go to the description part of the recipe to get the proper recipe, just because, like I said, Mom's not used to measuring. So even though I must have said something on the video, before you make it, just go make sure that you've got the right measurements. So
usually I mix pistachio and everything together.
Mom usually uses, the thing is with pistachios is also that it is extremely expensive. So, you know, we thought almonds are just good enough, so we didn't use any pistachios. But if you wanted to, you could go ahead and use the pistachios. So thank you for joining me on this episode of Rehana's Cuisines. Hope I can see you here next time with another great video. By the way, Mom's saying make sure you go ahead and cut it while it's warm. So she's gonna go ahead and cut it right now into desired pieces.